You got three
all got glasses on, July.
Yeah.
If y'all would let me finish the question, y'all would understood.
Okay.
All right, in the glasses. Is he sniffing glue tonight?
Bye, June.
I like the back and forth between June. I don't know. I thought we could have let him go a little bit longer.
Yeah, but we're pressed for time, and we got no time for shenanigans.
Yeah, June. Just so you know, brother, we'll be going on Thursdays starting next week. So if you want to call and mess with us, hey, Thursday night's the night to do it.
But come up with something better than glue.
Who is he talking about? Who's sniffing glue tonight?
I don't know, but anyway, if you don't mind, I have a presentation I would like to do.
Holy!
Yeah, if you guys pay attention, to the Scott Hall DVD, I've had the opportunity to watch it. It was released into WWE and in stores over this past week. Now, when you want to talk about someone that oozed machismo back in the day, and sorry, Jay Lethal, there was someone else before you, and that was the bad guy, Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall. This DVD set right here tells a story from his point of view, from his meager beginnings as a nightclub bouncer to his actual in-ring debut in the days of the territories back in the mid-'80s.
Yeah, Florida Championship, right?
Now, let's take a look at the overall design of the DVD set.
Yeah,
First thing you
cool.
notice is the cover with Scott Hall decked out in his Razor Ramon, aptly befitting since the name of the DVD. Yeah, since the name of the DVD itself is Living on a Razor's Edge. Now, if you can open up the box just a little bit, please. Yeah, to that point, back up just a little bit. Now, when you see two important pictures of Razor during his WWE career. On the left, you see him with the model Rick Martel in the finals of the tournament to crown a new Intercontinental Champion, which he would go on to win, which was his first singles championship in the company. And on the right, you see him with Bret Hitman Hart from the 1993 Royal Rumble, where he got his only shot at the then World Wrestling Federation Championship. Now, I'll open it up a little bit more to show the DVDs. And when you take a look at the actual DVDs, as they're all on their side,
Yeah, that's cool. That means
it's like an evolution of Scott Hall over the years with disc.
With porn-star mustache, look like 19C.
Yeah, exactly. That's his look from the mid-'80s when he was in the working with the territories.
Mustache right
Disc 2 being his Razor Ramon look. And finally, Disc 3, the NWO Scott Hall look. You can sit down now, Mark. The documentary in itself was an amazing story, and don't worry, guys and gals, I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So I'll just touch on a couple of things that were mentioned. Some general knowledge of Razor Ramon. He talked a lot about his days in the AWA up to the day where he thought he was actually going to walk away from the business in itself to the advent of Razor Ramon, and also on this DVD was included every one of his debut vignettes from the World Wrestling Federation, and also the bloopers were included in that one as well.
And spitting at the guy.
Yeah, and let's just say he has some quite colorful language there to bleep out in that one. He also touched on making the jump from WWE to WCW in 1996, which was a big deal in the wrestling industry at the time, because he felt very loyal to WWE, but he needed more money, and WCW was offering him more money, which was one of the reasons why he and Kevin Nash both made the jump. Now, of course, along with a lot of the high moments of Scott Hall's career, they also featured some of the lowest points of his career. It's been well documented about Scott Hall's substance abuse and his alcoholism. And I got to say, I will not go into detail too much about it, but there was a time from 2011 which had to be one of the lowest points in Scott Hall's life, in my personal opinion, to the point where it was actually painful and sad to watch. From that, it basically shows you, the problems that substance abuse and alcoholism can do to a person. But there was also featuring his recovery when DDP and Jake the Snake Roberts actually reached out to him, which can be seen on DDP Yoga's YouTube channel. Living on a Razor's Edge tells the story of Scott Hall's career from his point of view, which is an amazing story. And guys and gals, I highly recommend it. It gets a perfect score, 5 out of 5. On next week's Sports Entertainment Tonight, we're going to take a look at Eric Bischoff, Sports Entertainment's most controversial figure, what Eric Bischoff had to say, were a lot of the rumors true about him, because one big rumor that was even talked about in that DVD came from Mean Gene Okerlund.
That he was gay!
No, not that. That Eric Bischoff let every one of the talents write in creative control into their contracts during the WCW times, which Eric Bischoff highly disputed because there was only one person. And can you guys name that one person exactly? Exactly. Hulk Hogan was, according to Eric Bischoff, was the only person to ever have creative control of his contract in WCW. So look for that next week, guys and gals, and check it out. You know, it could be worth watching.
Maybe under his tutelage, but it's quite obvious Kevin Nash booked for WCW.
He goes on to talk about it a little bit, but I think we should save a little bit about that for next week's review.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm still in the middle of it.
Or we get to open Wrestlecrate.
See, that's one thing. That's one thing I like to do.
Post-show.
Well, if YouTube gets their act together, and so far YouTube is not. So, but anyway, that's one of the things I completely forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, you're talking about Hulk Hogan with the.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and move on.
Yeah, all right.
Because I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Well, on NXT this Wednesday, you're going to see Samoa Joe come out and get in a little confrontation with a Rhino. If you don't want to know this, Austin Aries is going to go against Tough Enough contestant Patrick Clark.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, instead of spoiling it for about it, let's just give him the match card. So
I'm not telling him who's winning.
Yeah. Let's just give the match card.
But yeah, Patrick Clark, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I was a fan of his on the Tough Enough show.
I never watched one episode of Tough Enough, and I never will.
He was the wrestling mark on the show, so I like him. Asuka went against Eva Marie.
Oh, so we get to see my favorite girl in NXT kick the living. Oh, I got to remember to hold back my language because we're on AOC. But you kick the living, you know what, out of a plastic Barbie doll. That's going to be fun to watch.
I like plastic Barbie dolls.
Especially when someone who's actually beautiful and dangerous kicks the crap out of them.
Which I will be seeing Asuka, I believe it's on your birthday, Billy.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, just so you know.
Yeah.
Which I got a couple extra tickets. Just so you know. Anyways, the main event, obviously, Balor versus Nakamura. It's a must-see match.
Oh, definitely.
Apparently lasts about 20 minutes.
It's going to be something worth watching. Two incredible talents like Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura in one match. It's definitely must-see. You have to see this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really... I'm anticipating something great out of NXT, other than Tom Phillips' god-awful commentary.
Which, just so you know, next week on NXT, you can plan on seeing a title match between Rhino and Samoa Joe, which apparently Rhino gets blown up in. You have the Authors of Pain against American Alpha and Bayley against Nia Jax for about the third or fourth time. So that's going to be next week. NXT lining up a good little lineup to get them ready. I think this is kind of... They're building up to their pre-NXT Brooklyn thing, you know, so they're kind of having their crescendos now, and then in a couple weeks they'll start new feuds. Which Finn Balor, I think, is closing it up. He's closing up shop in NXT and will probably be drafted highly, which brings us to our next segment where we would like to get a draft going, a little mock draft. What do y'all think, fellas?
I say let's go for it. I mean, we got 15 minutes left in the show.
15 minutes? Well, 12 minutes technically. I mean, is there anything else to talk about? We've got the, Cruiserweight Challenge starting on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's another reason why to watch the WWE Network Wednesday. Not only for NXT and Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura, and also to see my favorite girl kick the crap out of Eva Marie, but the Cruiserweight Classic starts at the very next hour right after NXT.
Which, just to list a couple of favorites, Zack Sabre Jr., Kota Ibushi, Jack Gallagher, Rich Swann, Damian Slater, Brian Kendrick. Those are people that they at least did profiles on the bracketology.
Yeah.
We got a Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins title match next week on Raw, Balor versus Nakamura this Wednesday, Cena on the ESPYs. But the WWE draft, I thought they sold it very well on Raw. They talked about some of the factors such as part-timers. Do you draft a part-timer to your show? So I'm thinking Lesnar's going to be on one, Undertaker's on the other. Does anybody draft The Rock? Who knows? Let's see, tag team splits. new contracts. As in the higher you're drafted, the more money you should get.
And also the bigger question, who are the general managers going to be on Raw and SmackDown?
Right. Well, I mean, I honestly think it's going to be Shane and Stephanie picking. But we'll see.
But who will they pick? That's the question.
Well, as far as doing the drafting, I think Shane and Stephanie are going to be drafting. They might have their general managers help them. Who can sell tickets? For instance, and who are troublemakers? They made that point in the Cesaro against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a troublemaker. Cesaro flies under the radar. Those are all some factors that they have to pick from. So, picking for Raw first, which we don't have a red marker, so we're going to have to go purple. And we can just kind of, discuss our picks. Where do you think, is John Cena a top pick or what?
I want to draft John Cena to SmackDown because of the fact that, he's getting towards the tail end of his career. He's got so many obligations, so many other commitments outside of WWE. You can't really have a 100% guarantee of John Cena being there each and every week. So Cena is slowly slipping out of the full-time status into part-time, and I think the perfect spot for him would be SmackDown.
Is he a top pick?
I would say the number one pick.
Number one pick is John Cena because he's the franchise. Yeah. Okay, so you say John Cena, and you think Shane McMahon, who has this mentality of putting over younger talent, is going to really go with John Cena.
But you also need the name value, the name recognition to help bring your show.
The second pick draft, my idea, it's the best.
All right, but I'm sticking to my guns. John Cena to SmackDown.
So we might have to go round robin here because we won't agree on top picks. Because I think if John Cena goes top pick, it goes to Raw.
Yeah.
Because Stephanie McMahon's a businesswoman.
Yeah, but you also got to look into the fact that he's got all of these commitments outside of WWE.
And this is the debate.
You can't really guarantee that John Cena's going to be there each and every week for Monday Night Raw.
Put the draft.
Well, why don't we put a question mark next to John Cena?
Yeah.
Well, everybody would be down the middle.
Well, yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah.
So we can do round robin. Billy got the first pick, and he got John Cena.
Let's just say I'm SmackDown. I'm SmackDown general manager.
No, we're gonna rotate
Okay.
it. We're gonna rotate it there, buddy.
All right.
Keep in mind, this is Shane. This is NXT. This is. People is trying to put over new people. This is Stephanie McMahon on Raw.
Tell you what,
who is going with the old school.
Yeah, let's move these out of the way so everybody can see the board.
So that's why I adamantly disagree with the first pick. I think John Cena is going to be on your flagship. Being as though I think Shane McMahon goes mainly NXT people, your AJ Styles, your hardcore wrestling fan. Because SmackDown's going to be the wrestling show. Raw's
let me say this:
flagship.
if John Cena is not the number one draft,
he's going to be the number one pick. I think Raw gets the first pick.
But if SmackDown's first pick is not John Cena, then the next logical choice would be AJ Styles.
Is AJ Styles the second pick?
Yeah.
Well, Mark, what do you think? You can have the next Raw pick, and then I'll do the next SmackDown.
The first Raw pick?
Or first pick.
Well,
you
let
you get to put him where you want to put him.
Mark.
Yeah.
Don't you have to draft the WWE champion?
That's what I was calling.
No, that was the phone outside.
Dean Ambrose has got to be. I would think even before John Cena, Dean Ambrose would be the top pick if he's champion after Monday Night Raw. If Seth Rollins for some reason wins the title on Raw, then Seth Rollins is your number one pick.
Or we just put Seth Rollins / Dean Ambrose because we don't know.
WWE champion, which I think is a safe pick. Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins is not going to win the title on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay, so next pick on SmackDown.
AJ Styles.
I think even before you get AJ Styles, you got to go Seth Rollins, baby.
Yeah, he's more wrestling.
So that would be my next pick for SmackDown, which of course you got John Cena and Seth Rollins, which of course is not going to play out like this next Tuesday on SmackDown, folks. But you never know. Billy, you got the next pick on Raw. You already got the WWE champion, Dean Ambrose.
I got to see your primary, secondary championship, which is the Intercontinental title, has to stay on your flagship show, Monday Night Raw. So I got to go with The Miz, just based on the fact that he's the Intercontinental champion.
Which I was pitching this earlier to Mark. I actually think that Miz is going to end up on SmackDown, and this is my reasoning. Because he's feuding with Darren Young, and Darren Young has been getting the majority of his promotion on SmackDown as of late. So if Darren Young is to win the Intercontinental title or to feud with the Intercontinental champion, Darren Young appears to be a SmackDown person, at least the way they've been promoting. So that kind of led me to think that the Intercontinental title might be the SmackDown's belt. But hey, mock draft, we don't know right now. You see, right now we've got Raw, Dean Ambrose and The Miz, SmackDown, John Cena and Seth Rollins. So, Mark, your pick on, let's see, what are you, back to Raw? Actually, no, we're on SmackDown. So you got John Cena and Seth Rollins, a pretty good-looking roster so far. You've been saying AJ Styles, but you still got Roman Reigns out there. Who are some other men? Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, The Rock.
Roman Reigns would be Raw.
Well, you got a SmackDown pick, so.
AJ Styles.
You're going AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so I guess I'm picking Raw here. And I say, yeah, he's been in some hot water, but he's a name. He's a main eventer. Go ahead and put Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in the top spot for the latter part of 2015 and 2016. It only makes sense to have him on the flagship show.
Get this a little closer, so. Yeah, you can see it.
Well, they got like 10 minutes, but.
Yes. Okay, well, we can do like a top 10, top 15, whatever y'all want to do.
Or top 5, because I think we only got like 3 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, we do only got about 4 minutes. So, Billy, you got pick number 4 on SmackDown. What do you got?
I really see Sami Zayn going to SmackDown.
I totally agree with you there.
And then he's going to progress and get a much better than what he is now. And then if they ever do like trades between Raw and SmackDown, which I believe they've done before in the first draft.
They will do because they mess up in the draft and they rebook.
So I would see Sami Zayn being rebooked into Monday Night Raw after some time on SmackDown.
I totally agree with you 100%, Billy. Sami Zayn is perfect for SmackDown. I believe SmackDown is going to be the reincarnation of NXT 2014, pretty much. It's going to consist of a lot of people like Seth Rollins, your Sami Zayns. Finn Balor is actually going to be one of my top choices for SmackDown as well. So I think it's going to be an NXT type of show on SmackDown. We'll see. So, Mark, you got Monday Night Raw, which...
Wait a minute.
June again.
Hey, Junior, we have time.
June, we got...